How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Just Jared Gaming. My name is in fact Just Jared, but you guys can just call me Jared. Now today, we are going to be talking about an indie game titled Night in the Woods. Now, I've been wanting to talk about Night in the Woods, but just with all the other indie games that I talk about here, and with No Man's Sky and things like that, I just totally forgot about it. I don't know how, but you guys in the comments of one of the previous videos where I asked what games do you want me to talk about reminded me of Night in the Woods. So here I am talking about it one day before it releases. I know I'm a bit late, but I'm going to let you guys know, inform you guys on what Night in the Woods is. So, Night in the Woods is a single-player 2D adventure game that's heavily based on exploration, story, character, and narrative. It is being developed by Infinite Fall. In Night in the Woods, you play as Mae Borowski, a cat character who just dropped out of college to return to her home, a mining town called Possum Springs. Now, Mae basically wants to resume how her life was before college, reconnect with her friends that she left behind, and just chill out to her heart's content. Basically, my life to a T, except for the fact that I'm not a cat or a female, but other than that, basically what exactly happened to me last year. But nevertheless, when Mae gets back home, things are different. Her friends have kind of changed, people have moved on, and something dark and mysterious lurks in the woods. Now, Night in the Woods focuses heavily on its story and its characters, like I said, as those are its two most important facets of the game. This game was built around the narrative first, so instead of how other games sometimes build gameplay and then kind of form and mold a narrative around it, this was built as a narrative, written as a narrative, and then the developers kind of thought, how can we put gameplay elements into this game around the narrative? So they kind of built it in a different way, a way that definitely focuses on the story, so you will know when you play this game, it's going to be story-driven, and it's going to have a great story because that is how it was built. Now, this narrative also focuses a lot on death and depression. So those are two things in the game, so it does get serious at times. I'm gonna assume that these topics are gonna come to light in the game, and it's gonna be really cool because I've dealt with depression in some sort of way. I've dealt with anxiety quite a lot, actually. Not as much recently. I've kind of gotten over it and learned to kind of evolve in my own way, in my own mindset, to surpass all that, but it will be a cool thing to relate to in the game. So death and depression, anxiety as well, are all in Night in the Woods story. Now, there are tons of characters for you to meet and converse with, some characters even having branching dialogue options that could influence small parts of the game and the story. Now, if anything, there is a ton of character backstory to learn when speaking to the fellow townsfolk in Possum Springs. Now, besides storytelling, there are also different gameplay elements and mechanics that mix up Night in the Woods. These events are comparable to like small mini-games, but they actually make sense within the story. They're not just like thrown in there to change things up once in a while. They actually make sense to what's going on in the story. Like I said, it was a narrative and then gameplay elements were built into it. And that's really good because you don't want a game that is a narrative and is heavily focused on story, but then you have these gameplay mechanics and these events that kind of take place, and you're like, it feels like they put that in there for the fact that this is supposed to be a game and not a book or something like that, which I've played games like that. So it's good that they built this game, like I said, around a narrative, so those events don't seem like they're just randomly popped in there for the sake of it. Now, Night in the Woods looks to be somewhat large as well, with many areas to explore and mysteries to uncover in the town of Possum Springs, as well as the woods surrounding. So there's this big mystery surrounding what's in the woods. The visuals in this game are they're really cool to see. They're really cool 2D with a 3D atmosphere visuals, really awesome to see, and the dark tones in the game. Like I said, the narrative focuses on death and depression, so those stand out a lot, but just the dark visuals look really cool, and it really has this eerie, odd feeling where just things look off. So it's a really cool kind of visual aesthetic that they have in the game. That's why I can't wait to actually be able to play it and just look at how they built the game visually. Awesome stuff. But like I said, Night in the Woods looks to be a bit large. It does clock in at about 7 gigabytes on the PlayStation 4, so it's not a super small indie title, so I'm excited to play it. I already have it pre-ordered. It does come out February 21st on PS4, PC, Mac, and Linux. It's $17 for PlayStation Pro members on the PlayStation Store. It's $20 for everyone else. one thing that's kind of weird, like this game kind of, when I was watching the trailer for the first time, or more recently, the launch trailer, I just get like Animal Crossing vibes. I don't know why. I played Animal Crossing. The only Animal Crossing game I ever played was on the Wii when the Wii released. And just being able to like have your own character. I know in this you don't. You have Mae. It's a set character, but in Animal Crossing you always go around, talk to these townsfolk, learn kind of what they're doing, and communicate with them, and go to the shops and things like that, and just hang out. And that's what Animal Crossing was. And that kind of reminds me of this, and vice versa. So that's really cool. I loved Animal Crossing on the Wii when I was in middle school. I played that just tons and tons and tons. So that's kind of a thing it reminds me of. I know it's a little weird. It might just be me. I don't know. But anyways, that's cool. Now, like I said, I have pre-ordered this game. It releases February 21st, all that. I will be playing it on the channel. This will be the first game that I cover that I will be playing on the channel. It's great. I did, like I said, want to start this coverage of Night in the Woods a long time ago when I heard about the game. So I'm a little late. Yeah, a day before. Pretty late, I know. But I do want to play. I have been excited for this game. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna play it on the channel. I'm gonna do a let's play. I'm planning on doing a series where I play the entire game on the channel, in each, varying episodes, and then at the end when I finish, I'll do a review on the game. That's kind of how this channel is built, where I cover games until they release, play them on the channel if they're kind of, accordingly to what I do on the channel and things like that, and then I'll review them, post the review up for you guys, and that'll be it. It'll be awesome. That's just how I want this channel to work. This is just the first time I'm actually going to implement all that, because all the games I cover up to this point are still in development. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below. Let me know if you're excited for Night in the Woods, if you pre-ordered it, all that stuff. If you're excited to see my let's play of it, it's going to be great. I can't wait to go in and meet all these cool characters and be able to give each character a voice like I do in every game I play. So that's going to be awesome. For more news and videos on Night in the Woods, make sure to subscribe, and also subscribe for other under-the-radar game news that I'll be covering here on the channel. But until then, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Until next time, peace out.